Hi everyone, it's Kelly J from Jolie Day Spa Skin Clinic and Jolie Visage Skincare. In today's video, I really want to share a way that we can tighten our under eye area, help with our crow's feet and those pesky 11's. I do have fine lines around my eyes, sometimes deeper at times than others. Other times I do have 11's. But I find that when I come up with a treatment like this, I can actually manage them and I can get a lift. I can create changes around my eyes. So I'm very pleased. I hope that you'll enjoy this tutorial. If you are new to this channel, I am an esthetician. As of 25 years, I work on formulations for our skincare brand, and we have had many skincare clinics in the Southern California area, Marietta, California. So in this tutorial, I'm going to share with you how to microneedle, how to apply PLLA with salmon DNA, Rejuran, and let's put in a little bit of matrixyl hexapeptide in that cocktail. And we're going to treat around the eyes, and I think we're going to get a really good lift. So I'm pretty excited about it. Thank you for watching, and please leave me a comment below in kindness. I would love to hear from you, and let's get started.
I was thinking this week about an eye treatment and how to firm and tighten the crow's feet, the skin around the eyes, and also the 11's. And so I came up with a great treatment. This treatment is something I would do at the skin clinic, but it also is a treatment that I need. So if you are interested in tightening the skin around your eyes and softening those fine lines, the crow's feet, just so that we look like we have a healthier skin tone and texture, and actually to reduce those fine lines, watch this tutorial. I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, in all fairness, I've done this treatment 2 times since the last video. So this will be my 3rd time to treat the 11's and my crow's feet and the under eye area in a 10-day period. Now remember, my skin is resilient, so I can pretty much take anything. If you have sensitive skin, you could do this once a week with a very light touch of the derma roller. We will be getting the 0.25 head for our new microneedling device, medical grade device. So the 0.25 is going to be beautiful for those of you with sensitive skin. I'm using the 0.5, and I want to show you how many lines I really have and address a comment that I get on social media. I'm going to do the one thing I tell my clients never to do, and it is to frown. I get this comment on social media, and this woman reaches out to me and tells me that there is no way that the microneedling device does what I claim it does for the skin, that I am full of Botox. Well, let me be clear. If I had Botox, I would share that with you. I don't have any problem with having Botox. I think I've told you before on this channel, I have no problem saying, I'm not going to speak for, as an esthetician, to say it's wrong to get it, it's right to get it. You all are educated, smart people. You can decide whether it's good for you. And sometimes when my budget allows and there's a good deal that one of the doctors or plastic surgeons are running, and I don't have to pay a whole lot for it, I'll go do it. But so far in the last 2 years, I haven't. And that's because I'm really watching my budget. I'm really watching what I spend. And And I also want to see how well our treatments do on the skin. So I'm going to frown, and I never break this rule. I never frown. I pretend I have a frozen forehead, which is probably why this woman is telling me I'm full of Botox. So I'm going to frown quickly. And you can see I have forehead lines and I have 11's. I'm going to quickly massage that fascia, because I do not like to frown. And you can also see that I have crow's feet, okay? So I just wanted to make that clear. And what I'm seeing is progress with this eye treatment. So I would ask a client to come in once a week or every other week, and I would send them home with a protocol for this treatment to maintain it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of hyaluronic acid just for a nice glide. And I'm just going to place a little bit of the hyaluronic acid around my eyes, just so the roller moves smoothly. The reason I work on not frowning, one is I want to have a positive attitude. I want my face to reflect. Sometimes I think there's power in basically showing that you are happy and that you are satisfied and content with life. And I believe by putting my face forward and by not having a frown on my face, I think that's, helping me to walk in that, with that thought, with that positive energy, with, showing I like my life. I don't want to show frowns. But secondly, I don't want to frown because whenever we frown or we really look angry, we compromise that fascia. The fascia is right underneath the skin, and the fascia and the muscle work together. And when we compromise that fascia, we basically crease the skin. And I know if you've watched my tutorials, you hear me say, really work your fingers on the fascia. Don't be afraid to pretty much, press those fingers against different areas in the skin, even lifting up the fascia, lifting up the muscle. You don't even need a tool for it, even though there are some tools that I love. I love our gua sha tool. I use our LED eye, face, and neck device, and I use pressure with that. I call it ironing out the creases. So I have basically taught myself not to frown. So I look frozen, but I don't care because it does two things. It makes me look fairly pleasant, keeps me from frowning and looking like I'm angry, and it keeps those deep lines from forming. And I can manage these superficial 11's. I can manage the crow's feet, and I can also think of treatments like this one that will deliver results. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. We're going to go right in. Our focus now are the eyes and the 11's. So first of all, I really want to address the 11's. So I'm going to go in, and I'm just going to stay in the ridge of my nose, and I'm going to press my derma roller. I'm going to do several passes in an upward motion, like always. And then I'm going to come down at my angle. Doesn't take much with this wonderful medical grade device. And you can already see some erythema. That's good. And then I'm going to do the X, which is the crosshatch. And then I'm going to do the horizontal. So I'm getting a really good result already. You can see that right away. You can see that. And I want to go into my upper lids now. this has been really interesting because did I say this is my third treatment? This will be my third treatment. And I actually see some lifting. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that my brows seem so much higher. I see an influencer do that, and she says with her derma roller alone, she's managed to lift her brows. I'm going to be very realistic when I tell you I see some lifting in my brows, but I don't want to tell you that it's going to look like I had a brow lift. I want to be very honest and realistic about this, okay? So what I want to do is I want to close my eyes because I really want to go in on the lids. I really want to do a good job on my lids. So I'm going to go upwards, making sure that my eye is closed, and I'm going to roll upwards. I'm going to even get into the hair of the brow, and I'm going to do the 2 passes. And now I'm going to go in at an angle and really have control of that derma roller so you don't slip, hurt your eye. And then I'm going to do one more pass this way at that angle, and then work right here in the corner of the eye. Some of you may notice that in the corner of our eye, we get discoloration. And this treatment is going to help with that discoloration. It basically is a thinning of the skin right here, right by where our tear duct is, but the skin becomes discolored, and it also works on down under our eye. Well, this treatment's going to help with that quite a bit. So I'm going to go right in here, right in very, very carefully, the corner of the eye. Be oh so careful. I'm going to make my angle. So I've done my 2 angles, and I'm going to go across. Now I want to share one more thing with you before I forget. I'm so excited. We have baby derma rollers coming. They are basically a tiny little roller at the end, and it's made for lips and for eyes. And I wish I had it here. We're waiting for it to arrive and for production. And when I get it, I will share it with you. But it's going to make this so much easier. If you want to wait to do this eye treatment until we get the little eye roller, do that. But it's going to make things so nice. And then I can redo this video and show you how nicely that smaller, cute, it's just the cutest little microneedling device. Just like this, only the roller's probably half this size. It's very sweet. I love it. It's a great device and tool. So now we're going across, and I think I'll start above the brow here, pressing, overlapping, gently overlapping, and then coming right above the lashes. Okay? Okay, so you can already see that we're creating some kind of really a nice result with just the microneedling in itself, because this skin starts to, really kick in that repair mode. So you can almost see I'm getting a nice lift. And in fact, just for comparison, let's just do the right side of my eye, the right eye. And then I'll come in closely at the end and we can compare the two. Okay, so let me start the crow's feet, okay? Okay, let's start the crow's feet. Now remember, just place your hand right here on your temple and close your eye, and then we're going to go in and we're going to press right next to the eye in an upward motion, overlapping, being very careful. Let the microneedling device just glide over your skin. Now let's go in horizontally. Go ahead and overlap that area. You can hear the rolling. Listen for the rolling. You'll know you're doing You can really hear how it's just rolling smoothly over the skin. And then let's do our diagonal. 1. I did about 2 passes. And then we'll do the other direction. This microneedling device really does the work for you. You're just pressing very lightly and it's working for you. Okay, so you can see that's a very, very nice result. You can see the erythema above my eye, on the 11's, and the sides where the crow's feet are. Okay, now let's get to working underneath my eyes. This delicate area here needs work. I can already see improvement after just the 2 treatments. So let's go ahead and let's work horizontally. Okay, vertically. Now this is where I really want you to be careful, because I do want you to go up underneath your eye. Just be very conscious of where you stop, okay? Okay, now I'm gonna be careful at this angle. I'm going at my cross hatch, my X. And then the other direction. Now I'm going to go right in here and just do a little roll, just to get that nice little skin right in this area treated. Okay, this is looking great. Okay, now this is just going to be really makes sense to you if you've been watching my channel. I'm going to take what I call liquid Botox, and I'm going to take about 8 to 10 drops. This is under the ampoule section of our website, and it's the anti-aging 80,000 IUs, which is a very measured in medical weight. It's the Hexapeptide. And I'm going to take 8 drops and I'm going to drop it into my Petri dish. Okay? And so you can see I'm using very little because it's so concentrated. See? And then I'm going to take our PLLA. For those of you that have reached out to me about the PLLA, it should arrive this week. And I'm going to take my PLLA, and you can see I've got, I would say, that's almost half a bottle. And I'm going to count out my drops, okay? I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to just do 7 drops because I really want my PLLA to go a long way. And then I'm going to take the salmon DNA, and I'm going to do 8 drops of that as well. Okay, now a brief overview of what we're going to do here. We're doing our liquid Botox, our Hexapeptide Anti-aging, highly concentrated. And we're doing equal parts of each. So you could do 6 drops, you could do 8 drops. It doesn't have to be perfect. It really doesn't. There's no right or wrong. You might even find after you mix it that you want to add more PLLA, or you might want to add more Hexapeptide, or salmon DNA. So between salmon DNA, stimulating, working on our collagen, because remember, it has like a biostimulator. So it's stimulating the collagen and the elastin in our skin. The studies show with salmon DNA is that it works very well with human skin. It works, it just pairs very well, the salmon DNA. So we're going to get brightening as well with the salmon DNA. The hexapeptide is going to relax that line and give it a really it's going to lessen the depth of my 11's and my crow's feet. And then the PLA, remember, that's also a biostimulator. The PLLA is the product that Sculptra is made out of, in which doctors inject the face with. Full-on face, it's a fortune. They inject the entire face, like with mesotherapy, like I've shared with you before in some tutorials. And I'll link that tutorial up above when I injected my skin with a PLLA. So it's the biostimulator that's going to just really get your skin in this increased collagen mode. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is going to mix the two, and I'm just going to start placing it around the eye. Okay, I'm going to continue to do that. Now, I want to explain something that I think is really interesting, and I know you probably have heard about it, but that is radio frequency. And I am going to link a tutorial that I like very much. And I think this influencer is very, very knowledgeable. I believe she started her skincare journey about 5 years ago. And she loves radio frequency. And she talks about radio frequency really being the reason or the key factor in why she was able to achieve so many results in her skincare journey. Now, the reason I'm linking her is because I don't have a good radio frequency device I can show you. And in this tutorial that she shares, she goes into an in-depth conversation and explanation of radio frequency. And one of the things she mentions is, and it is true, radio frequency in office, if you're going to go to a doctor's office or plastic surgeon's office, and they do radio frequency on you, there are some studies that show that radio frequency melts the fat. So the doctors are doing it, or med spas are doing it in areas that patients want to see reduction, like fat on their thighs or under their arms, different areas. Now that is a different level. It's a different intensity. I believe it's megahertz. Than the at-home devices. The at-home devices are nowhere near. They're a fraction, just a small fraction of strength compared to doctors' offices. So she kind of debunks the myth of radio frequency. And I really believe this treatment is beautiful with radio frequency. And if you don't have radio frequency device, watch this tutorial. Maybe you will like something that she offers. But I will be coming up with a great radio frequency device because I'm really seeing what this one's doing for a result from myself. And the reason I'm not going to launch this is I'm not 100% happy with it. There's a few little functions in this radio frequency device that was sent to me for testing that I absolutely love. I love so much about it, but there's just a few things that I wouldn't feel comfortable launching. So that's why I'm saying I think you should go on over and check out her video after you watch mine, because she really has some great radiofrequency devices for at home and shares how beneficial they are. So why I'm sharing this with you is I did grab the radiofrequency device that I was sent by a manufacturer for testing, and I did see a result, but I wouldn't feel comfortable launching this product. I have to do more testing on more radiofrequency. But so this is what I did. I did this. This will be my third treatment. And you can see what it's doing here. It really is tightening the skin. It has LED. Radiofrequency goes in and warms up the skin tissue, and it really penetrates deeper into layers of the skin for this healing and tightening effect. So I went ahead, and this will be my third time to use this particular device because I wanted to see if I could achieve better results. Now, we have a professional machine at the spa, radiofrequency, and we can use that on a client once a month, twice a month, and you're not going to see any fat dissolved. It's when you use a professional treatment at the spa, there are studies that show fat can be dissolved. But when it comes to a device like this at home, it's not going to happen. It's not going to dissolve your fat. It's not strong enough. But it does, you can really feel it heating up the tissue. If this is something that you're interested in, let me know. I really do want to launch the radiofrequency device, especially after I saw the price points in which they're selling for. They're kind of expensive. And all of you that watch me, you know I'm very careful with my budget and with what I launch and sell our products for. So you can see here, what I was so excited about is that I actually saw a lift. I really did. Oh, I love this. It really is a neat device. I'll get on it. I'll do more testing. Okay, so there we go. What do you think? Okay, I think I love the results. So not only is it just, it looks like it could be a temporary result, but what I found out was when I woke up the next morning, I could see that my skin, or that my eye was tighter and my brow was lifted. So let me give you a tip about this treatment. If you do this treatment, and if you don't have radiofrequency, this little eye device, our LED, affordable LED, you could really lift and hold. It just doesn't have the radio frequency. So this one would really work well, and you would see results. I'm just trying to really deliver something that would be, accelerated with the radio frequency and combine microneedling and these 3 wonderful ampules. Now let me show you the key to this treatment. I want you to take our Stop Aging Peptide cream. And by the way, I import that product from South Korea. And I know you probably have heard me say this before, but I could never have that product made in the States. And it There is nothing like it on the market. I'm sorry. It's just, it is, I sell out of it every single delivery I get from overseas, and it's it is a huge delivery. I sell out, turn around, you know, I have to mark our product sold out, but the minute we get another shipment, we're sold out again. It's just that fantastic. And one of these days I'm going to be able to bring in 10,000 units. At this time, I don't. But I bring in a lot, and we sell out of it the minute we get it. So anyways, you know, it's got we're putting volufiline with the Stop Aging, and then the 6 very strong peptides. The volufiline's from France. And, you know, it's a cosmeceutical ingredient, volufiline is. It plumps up the adipose tissue. The adipose tissue, it just stimulates the adipose tissue. So you have plumper skin, basically, is what happens. Okay, so now I'm going to use this Stop Aging Peptide Cream as a mask, okay? And that's how I'm gonna go to bed. And I might even, let me show you what I might do here. Okay, so I'm just going to do a nice little layer. And then let that absorb. And I would wait about a minimum of 20, 30 minutes after you microneedle and you apply all of your ampoules. We want the skin to kind of calm down, okay? And then apply your Stop Aging Peptide Cream, all right? So now I want to go in and I want you to look carefully and see if you can see a difference. If you can see a difference, will you please leave a little comment below, yes or no? But I think you can see that from this side here, that there's a nicer lift on this side. I think you can see that. And I'll take it, even if it's gradual, I'll take it, because I just think it's just a very effective, wonderful treatment. That one is treating my skin, brightening my skin, softening my fine lines, lifting my brows a little bit in a practical sense. And I'm just really opening up my eyes, which is why people get Botox. They want to see this really nice lift. And that's pretty to have that lift, but you know, we can also do it naturally. So anyways, that includes this treatment. Oh, no, it doesn't, because I want to show you one step. Now remember, we can always grab our Aquaphor or our Vaseline, and we can use a tiny bit to occlude mask to the point where we literally would be using like the idea of a saran wrap, like we are literally occluding the Stop Aging cream and all of those active ampoules into the skin all night. That is going to be a beautiful result on you. Even more so because you have to figure my skin is very resilient. It's so used to me doing, you know, umpteen treatments that I see that in treatment at the spa. I'll have a client say, oh my gosh, that was an amazing treatment. And I think, well, gosh, if I did that on myself, I wouldn't get, I'd get a result, but I wouldn't get an amazing result. But I hear that a lot. And I have to remember not to think like I think, that most clients are going to see a very nice result versus mine, in which my skin's kind of not going to react to everything because it's used to it. It's become like it doesn't react as much as it used to years ago. Anyways, that concludes this treatment. I hope you like it. A little on a personal note, I have my father, who will be 89 in a week. He's in California right now, and I heard from him And I knew that he had found out he had COVID. So I was very, very worried about that. He's very healthy. He golfs. He's, you know, he hasn't lost any of his muscle mass. He's still a big, tall, handsome man. And so he came down with COVID, and then I got really worried because I called him and I could hear that his voice, he just wasn't thinking clearly about his health, and I could tell there was something seriously wrong. And my daughter has finished her schooling to be a physician's assistant. She's a hospice nurse, so we collectively decided we would call the paramedics. And it really was the right call because he had pneumonia. So this week has been one of those weeks that is just, you know, very, like my emotions were all over the place, because you don't ever know if you have a loved one, and especially a loved one that is that age, how their body, you know, what if it will turn, if it will, just, you know, something goes wrong when they have COVID or they have an illness, and you just never know. And so today I'm very, very grateful. And you'll be seeing this, I've videotaped this on Tuesday, so you'll be seeing this after Thanksgiving. And so I also just want to thank you for watching my tutorials. There's so many people out there, and there's so many really, really well-known, not influencers, but, you know, YouTube channels and influencers that, you know, I hope that you find some of this content helpful. I do love trying to deliver results with my client's skin and with your skin as well. So look for the PLLA. It'll arrive any day. It'll be active on the website, and the ampoules are available. And I'll look into radio frequency. And these are great tools. And so I thank you. I'm grateful for you. I hope you have a wonderful holiday Thanksgiving weekend. Bye-bye.